Right then, welcome to another exciting episode of Food and Travel with James. We're in a little town called Barnoldswick, or as the locals call it, Barlick. Now, I don't want to get told off in the comments, but Barnoldswick historically is in Yorkshire. It's in Lancashire now since 1974, but in my mind it'll always be Yorkshire, and that's coming from a Lancastrian. So, anyway, we're stood outside Hutchinson's pie shop. I've done some research on this place, and they're meant to knock out some fantastic food in here, and it's meant to be really good value for money as well. So what else is there to do on a reasonably warm Friday afternoon than check some pies out? So let's get in, shall we? Cheers, mate. Hey up, I need to tell you, don't I, how much the pies that you're about to see me scoff, I need to let you know how much they cost. Now this one's quite an easy one, this, because the steak and ale pie was £2, the steak and potato pie, which I think is a bit like a meat and potato pie, that was £2, and the pork pie, that was also £2. So you don't need to be brains of Britain, do you, to work out that that should come to a grand total of £6, and that is the 14th of August 2025. So please let me know in the comments what you think of that value after you've seen the food. Now then, as you can see, I've got the pies and I've come back to my car to eat them. So I've got to be honest, I committed a bit of a schoolboy error here, in that I didn't ask the man that served me to write on the bags what each pie was. So as we do the unveiling, it's going to be a bit of a lucky dip, this. So let's have a look at the first one. So let's have a look at that. So I would say, if we can get that out of its container, let's have a look. I would say, out of the three, I'd say that is going to be the steak and potato pie, which is very similar to a meat and potato pie, but the fella that served me said that it's just that the chunks of steak are a bit bigger. So I would say that's the steak and potato. Let's have a look in this bag. Well then, let's have a look at that. Get it out of its container. Yeah, you can see it glistening in the sunshine, that, can't you? Now that's a work of art, isn't it? I would say that that's the steak and ale pie. Steak and ale, I would say. So we'll get that bag out of the way and put that on top of there like that. So by a process of elimination, I would say that this one is going to be the pork pie. Get that bag out of the way. I reckon that, in fact, I can probably see some of the pork just peeping out there. I'd say that is a HUTCHINSON'S pork pie. So we'll put that on the plate with the other two. Now, what I would say as well is the other two, assuming that's the pork pie, which I think it is, they're the same. They're all three of them are the same size, because usually the pork pie is smaller, isn't it? Depending on which size you get, but they do tend to be smaller than the other pies. So, yeah. So at £2, I mean, what do you expect for £2? It is cheap, that, isn't it, for a pie these days? So anyway, I'll stop blabbering and we'll get into him in a sec. Right, let's dig into this pork pie first, shall we? So as always, I've got my chopperoonie. So let's give that a little break into, if we can. There we go. Not done a good job of that, have I? Well, the first obvious thing about that one is the pastry's quite thick, but there is plenty of jelly in there as well, isn't there? Plenty of jelly in there, so we'll reserve judgment for now, but I'll save that piece and we'll have a look at this one. We'll dig into this, seeing as I've made a mess of it. So let's give that a little bite. Plenty of juice in there, isn't there? Oh yeah. That is a tasty pork pie, that. Some pork pies are quite dry, but that That's probably, out of all the pork pies that I've had, that's probably the most juice and jelly that I've probably ever had in a pork pie. The meat's nice as well. Good pastry. Pastry might be a little bit thick, whether I'm being a bit harsh there or not. But certainly a very tasty pie. And oozing with juice and jelly. Look at that. Can have another bite of that. That is a really, really tasty pork pie. Next. Now I think this one is going to be the steak and potato. But there's only one way to find out, isn't there? I'm less sure about this one than I was about the pork pie. So let's give that a little break into. There we go. I'm probably wrong there, aren't I, looking at it? First impressions. Oh, hang on, no, there's some potato in there. So, plenty of steak in there, isn't there? That's not like a standard meat and potato pie, that looks good. So I'll put that side down, and because I've not done a very good job of it, I think I'll eat some of this side, but you can see some potato, can't you? And plenty of steak. So let's give that a whirl. Oh yeah. Apologies, I'm just chewing. That is a tasty pie. Wow. A massive big chunk of tasty succulent steak in there. That was just getting me laughing gear around. Very nice, that. I can't knock it. Really good pie. Plenty of potato, plenty of steak. Good bake on it. Nice and crispy pastry. Not too thick. What can I say? Another really, really tasty pie, that. Right. And by process of elimination, this one should be the steak and ale pie. So let's see if we can do a bit of a better job of cutting into it, shall we? Probably not. I had one job, didn't I? I couldn't manage it. So that is a steak and ale pie from HUTCHINSON'S. Looks packed, that, doesn't it? Some nice big juicy pieces of steak in there as well, by the looks of it. Some nice rich gravy. So that's one side of it. And I think we'll munch into the side that I've made a bit of a mess of. So let's give that a whirl. Look at that big chunk of steak there. Let's have a bite. Straight away. Quality steak. Nice rich gravy in there. Packed as well. Plenty of content in there, isn't there? Look at that. Glistening in the sun. Like a work of art. I'll give it another bite. Apologies, folks. My phone cut out on me then. I think it's telling me that I need a new phone. I think it's the heat as well. But anyway, where was I? That is a really, really tasty steak and ale pie, that. You can see that big chunk of steak there. Yeah. Bang on, that. Nothing wrong with that for £2. Right. It's reached that time in the vlog where I give my final thoughts. I'll let you know what I think about each pie. Give HUTCHINSON'S marks out of 10 and also do my third to first place. Now, I don't think I'm some kind of food critic or anything. I'm just a layman. So obviously, I'm not like a critically acclaimed food reviewer. But I do my best anyway. I like to think that I know good food when I see it. And certainly good pies. So, it's a really tricky one, this, actually. Because I'm going to say in third place, I'm going to say is the pork pie. Now, don't let that fool you, because that was a really, really tasty pork pie. Pastry might look a bit thick, but I tell you what, absolutely oozing with juice and jelly, which for me is a big part of a pork pie. So it was really good, that. I can't knock it. Very tasty pork pie. Meat succulent as well. Good pastry. Yeah, bob on that. Now then, in second place, I'm going to say the steak and potato pie. Now again, look at that. Like a work of art, that, ain't it? Packed with content. Some lovely steak in there, if you can see that or not. Some chunky pieces of potato as well. Good bake on it. Pastry not too thick. Quality pie. Really quality. And that leaves in first place the steak and ale pie. Now that was superb. Again, massive chunks of steak in there. Try and get a close-up of it for you. Massive chunks of steak. Nice rich gravy. Nice pastry as well. Not too thick. Not too crumbly or doughy either. Really tasty pie, that. So that was my first place one. So I'll put that back down. Now then, marks out of 10. How much did I pay? Paid £6 for them. They were £2 each. I did comment at the beginning of the vlog that they were all the same size, which is quite unusual, to be fair, because it tends to be the pork pies that are smaller anyway than the rest of them. But for £2, can't knock that. I think £2 fairly inexpensive, fairly cheap these days for a pie. I know some places are charging about £5. I think I've vlogged one recently, haven't I? £4 or £5 for one pie. So I don't mind them being a bit smaller, and it's always it's better for your waistline as well, isn't it? Better for my waistline anyway. So for £6, fella in shop was sound. It's high nines, this. It's high nines. I'm going to give them... I'm going to give them a 9.7 out of 10. 9.7. Quality pies. On the small side. I'm not taking anything away from it. Anything away from the pies, that is. But for £2 each, it's a good deal, that. So please let me know what you think about the pies. Please rank them from third even to first place. And if you're ever in Barnoldswick in this part of Yorkshire, go and give them a try. And please let me know what you think in the comments. But yeah, 9.7 for them all day long. And something that I've noticed about this town is that there's loads, and I mean loads, of free parking and free car parks. I think these are council run as well. So other towns and cities councils around the UK, take note of Pendleborough Council doing the right thing and encouraging people to shop in towns and cities. Take note. And this is another one of the main shopping streets. Now then, the only place in Lancashire, or Yorkshire even, that you see donkeys tends to be Blackpool. Who knew, eh? Donkeys in Barnoldswick. Right, I'm going to finish the vlog off here. Now this is like the town square in Barnoldswick, and as you can see, it's a hive of activity today. They've got some donkey rides going on, and there's a little beach as well. There's like a little playpen with some sand in it. Now I've not been to Barnoldswick for a long time, but I'll definitely be back. It's a great place, nice friendly little town. People have got time for you, and appears to be very clean as well. So well worth a visit, and the charity shops are great as well, but we'll not go into that, not on this vlog anyway. So anyway, all that remains for me to say is please join me again on my next adventure, wherever that may be, either like we are here in Barnoldswick or Barlick in Yorkshire, or elsewhere around the world. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you soon.